It's over. It's all over. It'll never be the same again. Welcome back to the channel, you dirty beanbags. Today is just going to be a really quick. You're not going to have fancy. I know I keep saying I'm not going to do no fancy edits. This is just me talking candidly. The question of today's video is, who do we blame for the current market conditions within the Pokemon TCG? Now, I think the issue is that I've watched quite a lot of videos from larger content creators on YouTube, and some of their opinions are valid, some aren't as much in my own opinion. This is just all my opinion, guys, by the way. But let's dive a little deeper into what's causing this market to be the way it is. I think to summarize it all, I think in one simple nutshell, in one statement is, the market is just marketing. It's just doing what it does. This isn't the first time. Yes, it is unprecedented because there are so many people interested in the hobby, but the market is just going through a cycle as it always has. We've seen this previously. We've seen this in the past. There would have been people that have been here since before my time that have also seen this. Maybe not to this scale, but we get these cycles of hype. Then we get a lull. We get everything just stagnating. And then we get something new, a new gimmick. Pokemon puts out something special and the market goes crazy again. Now, what are the contributing factors? Now, without throwing shade on any of the YouTubers that have made videos on this, I know Pokerev has. I just watched one from OKJLove, Opossum Bud, who I watch and follow quite regularly. By the way, I don't disagree with most of what they're saying. However, I think the conversation has been oversimplified and a lot of it has been pointed towards the investors, people like myself. I mean, I am a collector and that's how I started in all of this, but I quickly realized that there is the potential to put some money into stuff that will go up. And the fact remains, whether you like it or not, Pokemon product, after given certain amount of time, will go up. Okay, most of the time, especially in the current phase, in modern day times, with modern sets, this has been the case. So I think blaming just investors is a big issue, because the thing is, a lot of YouTubers that are talking about this have got pretty large audiences and they tend to draw attention to what's going on in the market. Now, influence is very important online, and as you know, when there's influence, when there's big opinions talking about these things, it does drive the market, especially also when they're opening this product and going crazy about it. I mean, I don't want to take names, but look at all of the largest YouTubers that do box openings and pack openings and early release openings and all of this stuff, and just look at the hype around what they produce in terms of content and all of the people that are following it. Now, we can blame the Pokemon Company International, we can blame distributors, we can blame LGSs, we can blame scalpers, we can blame all these other people. The problem with the secondary market, and the main problem in my opinion, is that people are still buying it. If there's going to be a buyer, sellers will sell at whatever price they can get. Okay, so as much as flippers and scalpers are a problem, and I do agree, I think the other problem is that people are facilitating this just because there is such a huge sheer amount of volume and hype and FOMO. By the way, not always created by investor channels, created by really large YouTube creators within the space, drawing attention to the hottest new products and hyping it up really, even, I would say inadvertently, without consciously thinking that they are, but they are. The fact remains that they are. And we can talk about the flippers and scalpers, which are an issue. Unfortunately, most of us are faced with having to buy the product online as individuals, refreshing screens, trying to log into the Pokemon Center, but aren't able to do so because the website is being botted and most of the stock is being bought out within seconds. So it doesn't give the average person the opportunity to buy. Now, that's the biggest problem here. Okay, resellers, you could say that scalpers and resellers are a problem. Yes, they are. A lot of them are in this space, and I've said it before, just to make money. They don't really care about the hobby, but people like myself who are collectors, who inadvertently have also become investors, aren't really the problem. And especially not, I don't think saying that investor channels are a problem either, because a lot of us talk about what's going on in the market, just the same as normal YouTubers that produce normal Pokemon content like pack openings, box breaks, other content are also adding to that hype. Now, if people weren't willing to buy, then the shippers and rippers and flipper dippers wouldn't have a platform to sell on. They wouldn't have something or somebody to sell to. So unfortunately, as much as they are a problem, the buyers are also a problem. Then I come to the actual Pokemon YouTubers. They add to the problem. I've already touched on this. I'm not going to go too much further into that. Distribution is faced with the challenge of receiving product and having to spread that thin across all of the people that buy from them. Now, we know that a lot of people have entered the hobby, and what that brings me down to is my final point. And let's talk business here. The Pokemon Company International are in business to make money. They're not a charity, okay? So let's think with the business brain on. And it brings me to a really valid point that Rudy from Alpha Investments normally brings up. And it's like when he talks about new TCGs, for example, if you print too much, you lead to your own downfall as a TCG. Now, the Pokemon Company International understand, and they're acutely aware, and they are a huge business with many business brains and minds, I'm sure on the back end, making decisions on how things are operated. And I've heard the concept that they don't really care about the secondary market, but boy oh boy they do. If you are a business of that scale and you're in the market to sell product, cardboard by the way, the markups are huge. Now, when there is mass hysteria and hype in the secondary market for products, what that does is it means that Pokemon can print what they want to print and sell out pretty much instantly, okay? It makes no sense for them to print to demand from day one. It's for them to print as much as they want to, sell it, and then see the reaction on the back end. Now, if pre-orders, pre-sales are going out of stock literally within minutes, that's money in their pockets. And what does that do? It means that when future sets are released, they sell out instantly too. And that's good for Pokemon Company International. Let's take the example of Prismatic Evolutions. In fact, let's go a step further back. Let's go to Surging Sparks. Surging Sparks came out, everything sold out very quickly, became really, really expensive. Guess what happened when Prismatic was released? Sold out in minutes. Now, the knock-on effect for that was Journey Together. We saw Journey Together came out, people didn't even know what was in the set. Other than 10 cards from the set being revealed, people still don't know what the artwork is going to be like in that set. Sold out even quicker than Prismatic, potentially. So, what does this mean for the Pokemon Company International? What it means is that if the secondary market is so strong, is so expensive, that FOMO and hype is going to continually and perpetually work its way into the future on all released sets. Now, think about Team Rocket that comes out next. I cannot even imagine the absolute shit show it's going to be when Team Rocket comes out. So as much as we can blame the flipper dipper scalpers, all of those people making money, the investor bro channels, and everybody else in the space, I think that the main issue here is the Pokemon Company International. They just need to print more. And it's as simple as that. But thinking about business, they probably won't upfront. They'll wait for the hype to allow them to sell into the future, into newer sets, maybe sets that are not as good. And then once we are a bit further down the line, they will reprint and meet some of demand. When it comes to the players, there are going to be cards available now to play the TCG. You don't need all of the SIRs, you don't need the IRs, you don't need all of these cards. Having played a little bit more online recently, I've learned this. You can get normal set cards at reasonably cheap prices. I mean, look at Evolving Skies, for example. The set is super expensive, but a lot of the uncommon and common cards are relatively affordable. I know this is not a direct comparison for right now in this day and time, but the normal set cards that you're going to use to build decks are probably not going to be mad expensive. I know people are going on about like how are players going to get cards? How are they going to get their hands on being able to build decks and enjoy playing the TCG? Well, the answer is quite simple. They will be able to pick up cards, individual cards on the secondary market. They don't have to buy ETBs or booster boxes just to rip open to get the cards because nothing's guaranteed. A lot of players actually do, and I'm sure some do open boxes and do open ETBs and booster boxes. However, I think that a lot from what I know anyway, of people that I know that play the TCG, they just pick up the singles on eBay. And that's as simple as that. So I hope nobody takes a massive offense to this. This is just my opinion. I think there is a more nuanced discussion to be had around why the market is in the current state that it is. There's just more people and not enough product. And I think the Pokemon Company International are aware of this. And it's good for their brand because whatever they release into the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months is going to be crazy. And at the end of that, what do we have? In 2026, we have the 30th anniversary. And then bang, the market will go crazy again for whatever set they release at that point. Anyway, that was my quick short rant on the topic. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video, you dirty beanbag, make sure you join the community and I will catch you on the next one. Take care and bye.